This is episode 34 of the Relentless Man podcast, Harmony. Hi, and welcome to the Relentless Man podcast. We are your host, Christian Modjaiso, and our goal is to help men die empty, to make sure that you die having used up every ounce of potential that is trapped within you, so that when you're on your deathbed, you have no regrets because you gave life your all. So today we're going to talk about harmony. And to delve into this, let's ask the question, what is harmony? Is harmony love? Is harmony unity? Is harmony purpose? Is there such a thing as partial harmony? Suppose you're a member of a team, say, you have a team of, say you're in a team of 5 people and 4 people are in line with the mission of the company, let's say in line with the mission of the team, and you say are not in line with the mission of the team. Can we say that while the team is not in perfect harmony, it is partly harmonious? That is, sure, you are not in line with, you're not in line with the purpose of the team, but the remaining 4 are. So could we say that the 4 members of your team are in harmony with the mission, while you are not in harmony with the mission? Is there such a thing as partial harmony? If you're not working in line with the team, what does that mean? Does it mean that you have a different mission and purpose than the team's mission? What about the rest of the team? Does the rest of the team have a different mission from your mission? If your mission is different from the mission of the rest of the group, how can you really be a team? If there is more than one purpose, how can harmony exist? Is there really such a thing as partial harmony? Is there really such a thing as partial unity? Can we talk of a partly united team where 5 people, members of the team, are united and the remaining 3 are not? If there is such a thing as 5 members and the other 3, how can the 5 really be united? How can the 3 really be united? If the part is not united, how can there be partial unity? Is there such a thing then as partial unity? What about love? If you love John but hate Peter, is that possible? If there is separation between you and someone else, how can there be love? Isn't love the absence of separation? Are there degrees of harmony? Can you be in greater harmony with others? If you're a member of a team, say the team has 10 people, and you work well with one of the people on the team but don't work well with the remaining 8. And let's say that 3 days later, you work well with 4 members of the team, 3 more than before, because before you worked with 1 member of the team, now you're working with 4 members of the team, but the team has 10 people. Can we say that you have become in greater harmony? You're in greater harmony with the team because you're working with more people. If you're in harmony with part of the team, but not in harmony with the rest of the team, how can you possibly be in harmony? If you're in harmony with one member of the team, but in disharmony with the remaining 8 members of the team, how can you possibly be in harmony with the team? If we increased the number of people you worked with to, let's say, 5, and you're in harmony with 5 members as opposed to the 10, are you really in harmony with the team? Is there then such a thing as more harmony or less harmony? Are there degrees of harmony? Is there such a thing as becoming more united? If there is no such thing as more unity, what does that mean? Does it mean that you're either united or separated? Does it mean that all separation is the same? If there is no such thing as partial unity, what does that mean? What if we come together and say, sure, the world is in turmoil, there's a lot of conflict, but we as Europeans are going to form a bloc and we're going to say, we are united as Europeans, but let those Africans or let those Americans or let those Asians tackle their own problems. If there is no such thing as partial unity, can we as Europeans be really united? If there is no such thing as partial unity, can your family be united if other families are not united? What is harmony? Is harmony purpose? Is it possible for a team that's in harmony to have 2 different goals? If a team has 2 different goals, can it be in harmony? If you have a personal mission that is different from the mission of humanity, can you be in harmony with humanity? What is harmony? Is harmony strength? If you are in disharmony with others, can you possibly be strong? Does disharmony make sense? Is it possible for you to be in disharmony with others? What would it mean to say that you're in disharmony with others? Would it mean that there is you separate from others and you are in harmony, but you're simply not in harmony with everybody? So you are in harmony, but you're not in harmony with the others. Does that make any sense? Does it make sense to be in disharmony with others? Isn't it true that if you're in disharmony with others, then you yourself are in disharmony? If you are in disharmony, how can you be in harmony? Does disharmony make any sense? What is the purpose of life itself? If disharmony doesn't make sense, what are we left with? If you are an individual, separate from everybody else, working towards your own goal that improves you, gives you more money, makes you smarter, makes you stronger, makes you more accomplished, and doesn't help anybody else, how can you possibly be in harmony with others? If you are not in harmony with others, how can you be in harmony with life? If you are in disharmony with the essence of life itself, how can you possibly be at peace? If your work is divisive, if your work creates tension among people, how can you possibly be at peace? How can you possibly be in harmony? How can you possibly be united? Isn't separation, isn't distance, isn't tension the opposite of harmony? What about decisions? Can a mind that is in harmony make decisions? What is a decision? Does decision imply options? Option A perhaps, option B, option C? If one has to decide between option A, B, or C, isn't one in a state of confusion? If you are in a state of confusion between having to decide between option A, option B, or option C, how can you possibly be in harmony? How can your mind be one? How can your mind be united? What are we saying then? Are we saying that making choices is disharmony? Are we saying that a harmonious mind is the mind that knows what to do, that doesn't have to decide? If you have to decide every single day what you're going to do, is that a sign that your mind is in disharmony? Is harmony purpose? What if you have 5 different goals for your life? Can you possibly be in harmony? Can your days possibly be in harmony? If at 3 a.m. you chase goal A, at 4 p.m. you chase goal B, and goal B is different from goal A, and then at 9 a.m. you chase goal C, and goal C is different from goal B and goal A. How can you possibly be in harmony? If the essence of life is harmony, how can you possibly be fulfilled if you have multiple divergent missions for your life? Is there such a thing as your individual mission in life? If you are the world and the world is you, how can you possibly have an individual mission? Isn't the notion of you having a personal goal contrary to harmony? Isn't you pursuing a mission that is separate from everybody else in itself disunity? Isn't you thinking of yourself as separate from all that is the beginning of pain and suffering? Is there such a thing as a personal mission? If your life is separate from everybody else's life, how can you possibly be in harmony? If you are not in harmony with others, if you are not in harmony with the world, how can you possibly be happy? What is time? Is time real? Isn't time the separation of life into moments? One moment we call 2 a.m., the next moment we call 2:01 a.m., The next moment we call 2:02 a.m. The next moment we call 2:03 a.m. Isn't time separation? Isn't time disharmony? If there is no such thing as disharmony, how can there possibly be time? Isn't harmony unity? If harmony is unity, how can there be distance? If there is no distance, how can there be this moment and that moment? If this moment and that moment does not exist, what does that mean? If there is no such thing as this moment, then that moment, then a past moment, what are we left with? If the separation between moments is an illusion, what does that mean? Does it mean that there is no next moment? If there is no next moment, does time really exist? Is time real? Are we saying that harmony means that there is no time? If there is no time, what does that mean? How can everything be happening all at once? I woke up in the morning, ate a banana. 2 hours later, I danced. 3 hours later, I went to sleep. Are we saying that I ate a banana, danced, went to sleep all at the same time? Are we saying that there was no separation between those events? Eating a banana, sleeping, dancing. Are we saying that there is no before and after? What are the consequences of time not existing? If there is no time, can there be disharmony? If there is no time, can there be fear? If there is no time, can there be depression? What happens if one lives as if time is real? Does that bring about depression? Does time create fear? Does time create disillusionment? Does time create depression? Is time the source of our problems? If we lived as if there was no time, could we ever fear the future? If we lived as if there was no time, could we ever remember the sorrows of the past? Can there be harmony in time? Is time disharmony? Is time disunity? Is time the opposite of love? What about death? What is death? If you are the world and the world is you, if you died, would the world die? If you died and the world continued, could you really be dead? If you died, would you have a name? If you died, would you have a body? If you died, would you have a race? If you died, would you have a gender? If you have no race, if you have no gender, if you have no age, if you have nothing, what is that? Is death the end of separation? Is death the end of disharmony? Is death harmony then? If death is harmony, how can death possibly be bad? Is life disharmony? I mean, when we're in life, what happens to us? We all have names. John, age 20, male, American, eats vegetables, does not eat fries, etc., is different from everybody else. This is life. This is living. Is it not? Is life, is living in our century separation? If living is separation, and separation is disharmony, isn't the way you're living disharmony? And isn't death then harmony? Suppose you lived in harmony. Suppose you let go of your name. Suppose you let go of the separation. Would you then be dead? Is it possible to die before you die? Is death before death harmony? How does one die before they die? How can you die before you die? Is it possible to die before you die? If so, if it is possible to die before you die, how can you do that? How can you end the separation? How can you end the disharmony that you have with the world? How can you end the disharmony that you have with the society around you? Is it possible to end the disharmony? What would it mean to end the disharmony? Would it mean that there would be no me and them? That there would be no us versus them? That there would be no this or that? That there'd be no good people and bad people? Is it possible to live in complete harmony? Is it possible to live without separation? Is it possible to live in complete unity? If it is possible to live in complete unity and harmony and love, how does one do that? How does one live in complete harmony? Can one live in complete harmony if one has enemies? Is there such a thing as a man who has enemies but is in harmony? What does it mean to have an enemy? Does it mean that there is you and there is the enemy? If there is you and there is the enemy, how can you possibly be in harmony? Can you be in harmony if you have enemies? What if you have no enemies? Are you then in harmony? Does it take time to get in harmony? Does it take time to overcome the sense of separation? But if time is an illusion, if time does not exist, how can it take time to transform from separate to united? from disharmony to harmony, from hate to love? How can the transformation from disharmony to harmony happen if there is no time? What does it mean to transform if there is no time? Is it possible for you to transform from disunity to unity, from disharmony to harmony, if time does not exist? How many books would you need to read in order to become in harmony? How many books would you need to read in order to get rid of separation and become one with everything and everybody? Is knowledge necessary for transformation from disharmony to harmony? If so, what knowledge would one need to have? How much knowledge would one need? How many degrees would one need in order to become one with everything and everyone? Could it be possible to transform without knowledge? How could one transform without knowledge? How could one transform without time? Thank you very much for listening to this podcast episode. Remember that this is your podcast and we are your servant. Our mission in life is to help you die empty, to make sure that you die having used up all the potential that you have within you, to make sure that you transform, because if you transform, humanity transforms. Our world is filled with problems. We caused these problems. It's our duty to solve them. And our mission in life is to provide you with whatever help is necessary to ensure that you realize who you are, that you realize your potential, and that you die empty. Consequently, if there is anything holding you back, if there is anything that's stopping you from realizing your true potential, from dying empty, if there is something that is blocking or appears to be blocking your transformation, please email us. Let us know about it. Our email is in the episode description. Otherwise, thank you very much for listening and have a relentless week. Bye.